Hello everyone. Today we are going to speak about project management and the work we did around the milestone on the project modules. So first, just to present us, I'm Julien from Lumigi, and I work as a business analyst on Odoo. And there is Julie, who you may already know.
Hi, my name is Julien LeBrun. I'm also working at Lumigi as a functional consultant. So here we go.
So just for the agenda, so we'll speak of the context, the initial client's needs, and the decisions that were made to deliver this need. And then we'll focus on the brief introduction of the features, and we'll try and focus on the demonstration so that you can get a look and feel of the different features that were delivered in the project. So we had actually different customers who were asking for the kind of the same features around project because they were, for them, the work breakdown structures that were already existing in project were too complex for their team, and they didn't want to manage several parent level on projects. So from there, we analyzed different options, and we decided to go with the milestone and to work around the milestones. So as you will see, we had developed different modules, like maybe a dozen. They are all available on our GitHub project repository, and they were initiated on V12, and some are already available into V14, but some of them remains to migrate. So just for the context, what those modules do, they enable adding a line, a level between the sale order lines and the task. So when you are invoicing your service, you can have a new level of managing. Also, when you have a certain type of contract, such as a training contract, you may want to sell only one line in the sale order, but be able to, let's say, have several tasks for that same sell line. But you don't necessarily want to ask your user to remain the product name, so you may, with the milestone, give a better readable or better label to him for him to select the good milestone and then the sell line associated. So that's pretty it for the context. So the features, we have two different types of features. The first one is related to the time tracking and time management on milestone level. So you will see we added features to manage estimated hours on milestone, so that you can have an evaluation beforehand and at the milestone level. We add another feature to be able to track and compute time, the spend time on the milestone. So you will see that just in a few minutes. And of course, from there, we computed the remaining hours by just by these two features already. So you will see that in I won't go into much detail because you will see that in a few minutes. Tu veux présenter les deux autres, si tu veux?
And then we work on enrichment of the views because the original milestone module has only one view available, which is the list view. With adding the KPI estimated spent and remaining hours, it was a good idea to have a pivot view with those estimated spent and remaining hours as measures. So we added this view, and also our clients wanted to be able to manage the project over several months or years. So they wanted to be able to see all the stages of the project into a timeline. So we added the timeline view. And because some stages were dependent to others, they had dependencies. So we did the timeline dynamic. So when you change the date of one stage, and if you have a second stage that depends on this stage, the date will change as you change the first one. So you can keep your planning right like you planned it at the beginning. So this is for the timeline and the new views. And we did also self-integration, which Julien already talked about it. So we will just switch to the demo and explain more during the demo. All the features, it's going to be easier to understand. Is it enough?
Is it big enough for you to see the screen correctly?
Okay. So we will start in the project app, for sure. Let's see, I'm using I don't know if you have problems with the Wi-Fi, but I'm using mine, on my phone, so let's see if it works. Okay. So here I have my project. It's a project that uses Milestones. So, yes. One more time? It's okay? Okay. So if I go on the Milestones tab, I will find that the view has been enriched. So you can see that you have now estimated hours, total hours, and remaining hours, and the progress that's been computed differently, because in the Milestones, the original Milestone module, the progress is calculated based on the stage of the task linked to the milestone. But with all the hours, we wanted to manage like a budget of hours for the milestone, and then entering hours spent on the task. So we wanted to see the progress regarding those hours instead of the stages of the task. So we changed the progress bar to show the progress based on the hours spent. So if I go on the form view of a milestone, I have the new field here, which you can see estimated hours because it's a budget I manage. I can enter the number of hours I want, but the total and remaining is calculated. So the total usually, total means spent, okay? So total hours spent, I don't know, maybe there's a problem with the label, but that's what it means. And you have the progress bar also. And then, if we go on all milestones, we have the new pivot view, which, as I told you, has the measures based on the new field. So you can select. But the basic, when you install the module, those are the measures that are already selected. And then you can manage and have analysis of all your milestones over projects. If I come back to the project form view, you also can see the KPI. So I have all my milestones, and then for the project, I can see the total estimated hours of all my milestones, the total spent hours, and the remaining hours. So I can see, I can manage like the budget of the project overall. Did I forget something?
Maybe just to add something. Thank you. The solution includes a new module that make mandatory the field milestone when using milestone on a project, so that the user don't have a choice whether to assign a milestone or not. It cannot save the task without the milestone on it. So.
Yeah, maybe I can show you, like, if I, for example, on the stage 2, I have only 5 hours spent already. If I go on my task, I can group by milestone if I want. Then I have the task for the stage 2. We have here the milestones, which does the link between milestones and task. And as Julien just said, the field is now mandatory. And then I will add some time. Mm. 2 hours. I can access my milestone and see that I have now total hours of 7. So in the form view, you have all the detail. Then we had it, I will stay here. We had it, the dependency. Like I told you, with the timeline, we wanted to identify dependencies between milestones. So, for example, stage 2 depends on stage 1. So I cannot start to work on my stage 2 before I have finished with stage 1. So here on stage 2, I go on the dependency tab, and I can see that I have identified my stage 1 as a dependency with the date. So I have the start date and the target date. And I have those information too on my stage 2. So you can see that my stage 1 starts October 1st, and it's planned to finish on 29th October 29th. But I will start only on 1st November for my stage 2. So if I go on the milestones timeline view, I will see my 2 stages. And for example, I have a problem with stage 1. It takes more time than it was planned. So I can go change the target date. Maybe I will finish this Friday. And then you can see, I know, I hope you didn't like close your eyes because you missed it. But it just moved to keep the dependency together. I don't know, maybe I want to start stage 2 before, and I didn't know that I had a dependency, so maybe I'm here and I want to move it, or I don't have the mouse. Okay. I will have a warning telling me that I cannot because I have a dependency. So if I refresh, I think I have to refresh, it will come back. Yeah. As you can see here, you have the progress bar in the bottom of the milestone. This is another module we did, which is linked to the progress, remaining progress based on the remaining hours. So we added this also in the timeline view, so you can also see your progress on this view. You want to add something?
No, I mean, you said everything. Just maybe one thing is that behind the motivation, we had sought to use the parent task, but it was not fulfilling the need of the client, because the user don't know when to add a new parent task, when to add a new child task, so it wasn't really responding.
No, not the best idea. But you can continue with the cells.
So that was a part of the project, so more operational and time tracking. And we have a new feature to be able to sell a service and track it with a new milestone. So if I go on products, it works pretty much the same as for tasks. You have different options. So just to show you, if I create a project, of course it should be typed as service to be able to configure it to generate a milestone. But you have a new option. So you can now choose to create a milestone in an existing project or a milestone in a new project. So those are options that are facilitating, especially this one here, because we have clients who have a training contract, and so they sell training. But they want the user to be able to generate a new task, a new intervention for the same cell line, but without having to think about the cell line name, the client description of the contract, which won't necessarily match the operational name of the training module. So let's have just an example here. If I create a new order, I have my extra customer here, and I will, let's say I have to train him on sales and purchase. So I will add a first line with training purchase, maybe 20 hours. Don't mind the price, it's messed up with the currency change, so. And maybe 20 hours of training on sales. So if we confirm, the sale order will generate one project with 2 milestones. So I can go to my project overview. I see I have only one project. Otherwise, I would be landing on a project list or a project Kanban view. And if I go on my project, I can see that the use milestone is already activated. And in the milestone tab, I have my 2 milestones, each for a cell line. So with, of course, the estimated hours already defined. So now, as a user, maybe on sales I will have 3, 5, maybe 10 workshop. 10 I will have to sell more, but 3 to 5. So I'll just add that here. So let's say I will create a first training preparation. Okay, so as you can see, we have to select a milestone. let's say it's for purchase. And of course, when I will have finished my training, I will or my intervention, I will just add my timesheet line. In this case, on the product, I selected the invoice on timesheet. So, as I have selected my milestone on the task, the sale order items is propagated from the sale order to the task. So it is the creation of tasks for the user who doesn't anymore have to think about the sale order items to select. So only management have to make the configuration initially, and then the final user is ready to go. So if I go back to my sale order, I can see that my timesheet went back up to the sale order line. So from there, of course, at the end of the month or each week, I will create an invoice. And of course, if we have, let's say, a project that we will manage time milestone, but without invoicing a different sell line on each milestone, then if we create a task and link it to the milestone, if there is no sell order line on a milestone, but there is one for the project, the one for the project will stand on the task. So it only propagates from the milestone to the task when there is a milestone, the sale order line on the milestone. Yeah. I think that's it for the cell because it works really the same as for task. So.
Questions, comments, doubts? Yes?
Actually, I have two questions. The first one would be regarding to the calculation of the estimated hours. As far as I understood, you estimate the hours based on the milestone level, yeah?
Yeah.
So, but what if I had a requirement that it's not top-down, but bottom-up calculated by the task inside a milestone? So the estimated hours is the sum of all estimations on task. Is that possible as well?
That would be with the existing features. No, that's not possible because the idea behind it were to have really an estimation on the milestone level, and then the task are only the operation. So you could actually have planned hours, but not.
So they could be different then.
Yeah.
Even the sum could be even twice the estimation of the milestone. Okay, then the second question would be, you said that you have a dependency between milestone 1 and milestone 2, and it seems that the only KPI of finishing of a milestone is the reach of the date. Is that the case, or could you specifically say, because you said you can't start with milestone 2 before milestone 1 has ended. Now, in your presentation, I saw that there were already timesheets recorded on milestone 2 before milestone 1 reached end. So I assume you can work on this, but you cannot really claim you started working on this. And I think the dependency that you built is just the end.
Yes.
The second cannot end before officially start before the first milestone ended.
You have a point here. The dependency actually only concern the timeline view, and it's specifically for the management team. So there is no intelligence or constraints regarding to adding a timesheet on a milestone that is not officially started regarding the dates.
So you cannot, You cannot record time.
You could actually record timesheet on a milestone. Yeah.
Okay.
Because because the need of our customer for this module was really to manage to have a view, because they're a really artistic one, and they wanted to have colors, like you say, like you saw. I didn't talk about the color, but we did a module that can define the type of milestone, which you can assign a color to the type, so you can manage by color and everything. And they wanted to have a view of the planning of the project in the milestones view, but they didn't ask to restrain entering hours on the second one because it was dependent. So they didn't ask for it, so we didn't do it. But it could be like for some needs you could add this feature for sure. Yes?
Real quick, because I think the next one is supposed to be roadmap-wise. This is on your repository, will it be?
For now it is. Yes, for now it's on NuMidi repository. We didn't take time to propose it on OCA, but if there is an interest, of course, we will.
That was the main goal of today's presentation. We want to see if there's interest to propose it to the OCA.
We did quite a lot of similar things in Germany, so already I'm thinking duplication of efforts, which is stupid on our side as well, because we never committed it anyway. We're doing the thing that Felix says. We build up the estimated hours on the milestone bottom-up, so from the planned hours to the task. Roadmap-wise, are you planning on adding milestones as a dimension on the timesheet lines or analytic lines? Milestone ID, for example?
It's not planned, but it could be done, and it's not a long work, so it could be done.
But we didn't plan any more work on the milestones for now.
Yeah, okay, but I'm seeing synergies appear. And then lastly, have you got any inkling of going to do planning on the milestones with, for example, having the target date cascade down into the planned end date of the task?
Yes. Actually, we currently use the end date of the project to cascade it, to put it down on the tasks, and we will add another feature. If you have a milestone on your task, then the target date of the milestone will propagate to the end date of the task. But that feature is currently ongoing development.
On our side, it's pretty rickety. We have the target date on the milestone cascading down on the deadline date of the task, and then the deadline date of the task also sets the planned end date from the project forecast line module that unfortunately is not here.
Okay.
Because in the end, you can do like proper planning with OCA, and I think the milestones might be an important intermediate level focus between the project and the task. We also looked at tasks and subtasks and confused. So here we are.
Yeah.
Really at least there should be an issue on the project repository or OCA for us to talk about these things.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
Other question, comments?
I think we are a bit late.
Thank you.
Thank you for your attention.